Welcome back, and good afternoon or morning if you're watching the replay, whenever your time zone is. Welcome back in the group Fierce Leaders on Facebook. So, before I'm diving into the topic, I'm going to let you know what it's about, and then I'll let you invite people to watch the video if you feel it's going to speak to someone or someone would benefit to hear from that concept. So we're going to talk about emotions and compounding emotions. So I'll let you talk about it with your neighbors, family, friends, and see if it can speak to anybody, and maybe someone would need to hear from that. So there is something I'm creating, and I'll put a waiting list out there in my newsletter, and I'll share with you as soon as it's ready. But there is something that we don't realize we do it but yet we do it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily unconscious. It's as if we accepted this as a paradigm rather than questioning. And so basically this is when we feel emotions, we don't let ourselves feel them. We don't let ourselves go through them. And so because we want to avoid pain, it's a very natural body response. We also try to avoid emotional pain. And the avoidance of emotional pain makes us behave a certain way. But what I came to see is that there is a difference between accepting the emotion is here and seeing it as it's just an experience, and telling ourselves a story behind the emotion. And so what I think I've been doing for a very long time, and what I observe a lot of people do, is that we see the emotions, we feel it, and when it's not pleasant, we attach a story to it, and we attach the memory, the situation we remember, we link it to the emotion, and then that creates a pattern. And so whenever we may feel this emotion again, our mind is gonna say, danger, protection, remember what happened last time. Rather than saying we're in the moment, in a point in time and space, it's an experience. And so we compound the emotions we feel because we don't let ourselves going through them. We don't let ourselves seeing them as it's just an experience, it's just a moment. And by doing so, just a moment, an experience in time and space that was just a little chickpea, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually it explodes or it implodes. And depending on the temper and the personality and the situation, there's a lot of parameters that explains if it's going to explode or implode. And so what I started to do is I was thinking, okay, so first, what am I trying to avoid? What kind of emotions and situations I'm trying to avoid? Well, usually we try to avoid everything where we might feel disappointed, we might feel angry, we might feel sad, we might feel bitter. And so accepting that those situations are here, may happen again, and then what story am I telling myself behind that? Oh, if I feel sad, or if I'm disappointed, then I can't trust anybody. Or if I'm disappointed, then that means I'm failing. And that's the story we tell ourselves behind the emotion. And so the idea is to catch ourselves, get away from the storytelling, because we're very good at storytelling, and just be in the emotion and just feel it and acknowledge it's a moment in time and space. It's not gonna last. It's an experience we're having. Is that a pleasant experience or not? Maybe not, but it's an experience, and an experience is not forever. It's not lasting. So we're gonna be okay. And so I started doing that, and the emotion just go through. The more space you give yourself to feel it, to accept, you're allowed to feel mad and angry and sad and disappointed and bitter, and you're allowed to feel that, the less importance it has. So when we look at emotions and emotional intelligence, it's good to hear and to read that we need to acknowledge emotions, we need to accept our emotions. But basically what it means that your mind has to understand too that the emotion in itself is just a moment in time. It's an experience. And so your mind can accept that reality and give space for the body, the emotion to arise. Because as long as you're gonna fight, I have to accept my emotions, but then it's not good to be angry. I don't want to be angry. I want to be nice and peaceful and kind. I don't want to be bitter, and I don't want to be sad. And I'm not fun when I'm sad, and so I don't want to be sad. And people are not gonna like it. And so as long as you're fighting between what you feel and what your storytelling is, it's not gonna work. No matter how emotional intelligent you want to be. And no matter how much you want to accept your emotion, if you keep telling yourself stories behind the emotions, then that's not gonna work. So, what I invite you to do is to, when you feel an emotion that is quite intense or that is unpleasant, is to acknowledge that it's an experiment, it's an experience in time, it's a moment. A moment by definition is just suspended. It's a moment in history. It's not the whole history, it's a moment. And so it's a moment of your life. Is that a pleasant experience? Maybe not. It's okay with that. And then be an observer in what story do you attach to that emotion. Do not create a pattern by telling yourself a story because you feel a certain way. Just feel it. So this is something to bring awareness on, and my invitation to you is to practice it as often as possible, intentionally every day, looking at when you feel a certain way, are you telling yourself a story from that emotion? And can you give yourself the space by not telling yourself a story behind that emotion? I'll let you reflect on that. The newsletter for this month is gonna come soon, so be on the lookout. If you're not subscribed yet, it's all in the description. I'll keep you updated. I think a lot is coming for this fall and for the rest of the year. So be on the lookout, and I can't wait to share a lot. I really can't wait to share a lot more with you. All right, take care and see you later. Bye.